Hello, everybody. This is SnarkCast number 3. I am Mugany
I am
7.
Lucky Seven.
And who is our
And
guest for the evening?
I'm Geodesic Dragon, or just Geo for short.
Nice. Welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for
How's
having
your
me.
day?
It's been alright. Got a day off, can't
Nice.
complain.
Nice. I wish I had a day off.
Fridays off are the best day to have off too, because then you get the
It,
weekend
it
right
is.
after.
Oh, yeah, and that's when stuff is going on. I
Like,
don't
hell
get
yeah.
I don't get off until Sunday and Monday, the worst days. I'm off for Jesus. But I wanted to open with like a fun little story of something that happened to me last week when I was editing Famous's episode. So my apartment has sensitive alarms, sensitive fire alarms, and I was heating up some olive oil so I can make some potato wedges, and I stepped off to my room to edit Famous's episode when the fire alarms went off. I didn't think anything of this at first, because they're sensitive, but when I walked into the kitchen, I just saw smoke pillaring from the pot, and I just go, oh, I better turn the stove off. So I do that, and as soon as I do, the pot just catches fire, and the fire alarms go berserk, and I just stand there and go, oh, I better put that out. The problem is, I've never been in a scenario where I've had to put out a fire before, especially one that I started. So I'm standing there like what's a good analogy to use? What's a good analogy to use for somebody just standing there and just like with like dumbfoundments?
He was an idiot.
He was an idiot. There's a good analogy. Um, yeah. So I pick it up by his handle. The fire alarms are going berserk. The smoke is filling. There's smoke filling the apartment. I am freaking out. There is a sink full of water in front of me, and
Oh no.
there there's a fire extinguisher right outside the apartment. There's one outside every single apartment. All I have to do is run outside, and just break the glass. Um, the problem is, I'm freaking out. I don't know what to do, so I throw it in the sink. And just this fire geysers out of the sink. It's like if you could see a volcano erupt, it's kind of like that. It just comes shooting out in this fire tornado and scorches my ceiling. And I just see it all in slow motion, and I'm just thinking to myself, I am about to lose everything here. And thankfully, the fire went away quickly, but uh that the first thing I thought when the fire was happening was, holy shit, I better get my apartment clean for the fire department, because God forbid they think I live like a slob. That was legit my first my first reaction to it. And yeah,
Why
that
would they
that was
keep the fire extinguisher outside of the apartment, by the way? The
there's
hell's
a
the point of
fire
that?
there's a fire extinguisher provided outside
Yeah,
the
I have
house.
one in my apartment, because my complex isn't stupid.
I don't know.
Why
It's
the fuck would I
probably
want to run outside and then run
well,
back in to put the fire out?
it's
At least
probably
you've got
because
fire
there's this
extinguishers.
it's probably because there's a sprinkler system provided inside the apartments. I don't know.
Must not work very well.
Well,
Also, yeah, with oil fires, don't spray it with water. That makes it worse. Just use like a
yeah.
towel and suffocate it.
Yeah, I thought about that, but I was freaking out. I was freaking out with everything. Like, I knew throwing it in the water was a bad idea. I was in fight or flight.
See, empty plot filler, that would make sense, but then what if the fire overtakes the door so you can't get outside to the extinguisher?
Yeah, okay, so The main thing I was worried about in that moment is I was worried about burning myself because I live in an upstairs apartment. I would have had to, uh, um, I would have to climb down carpeted stairs to get to it. So I would have to worry about some of the grease falling out and the carpet catching fire or just burning myself in general. So I'd have to be very careful while also hurrying. So that just added to the stress of the situation. So yeah, I was
Wait, the fire extinguisher's outside and downstairs?
yes. I see what you mean. Like they should provide one upstairs as well, like inside the apartments. But it's not really things you think about until it finally happens.
Yeah, I guess. All right, well,
Mm. Yeah. Yeah, I just wanted to tell that story because I thought it was a fun opening to
luckily we
the
got the
podcast.
episode out.
Yes, we did. Yes, that's the part that matters. Mm.
So,
Do
Gio,
I
how are
have?
you today?
Yes, how are you?
Yeah, you've just remembered that I'm here. Okay, hi. Yeah, I'm all right. I'm a little bit nervous. I will admit I've never done this before, but well, hopefully I won't fuck it up.
It'll be hard to do that. Don't worry, you'll be fine. um,
Don't worry, that's what I exist for.
so Mugany spent some time going through a shitload of your stories, uh,
Oh
I
God.
read.
in the hopes of being able to find some that we could ask you questions about.
Right.
I just do it to get an assessment of your writing style, but I think I read almost 30 stories. I was hoping I could read at least 75% of them before the interview, but I only had 2 days to read. But I did ask, I did read enough that I formulated some questions
Yeah, good.
and
Uh,
pulling up.
I
Sorry,
don't
go
have a fire story, Alex. Unfortunately.
ahead.
Yeah, Gio's apartment is actually well made, and he knows how to cook. So,
If
Oh,
does a microwave count as cooking? I don't think
absolutely,
so.
come on, you have to have a fire story. You have to have one.
he does have fire stories. It's called the Geoverse. They rock.
Oh yeah.
Oh Christ, yeah.
Do you know somebody who's started a fire?
Uh, Honestly, no. I don't have any fire stories at all. I'm sorry. I'm just that boring.
Mugany just really is hoping that everyone else is as stupid as he is, so you'll have to pay him no mind here.
Yes.
So,
Okay.
Mugany, what kind of questions do you have here?
All right. I guess I'll start by asking, how is it you managed to write so much?
Yeah, that's true. You have, if I look here, 96 stories, which actually you recently downsized. Is that correct?
Yeah, I did delete a few. Some of the ones that I just felt shouldn't have been written in the first place, or others that I wrote for people who I don't speak to anymore, and yeah, just felt like I had to get some of the cringe away from my account.
I get that.
But
I have a few I wrote written for people, and it's weird looking at them, so I get where you're coming from.
to answer the question, I mean, when I first started writing back in 2012, I had a whole bunch of ideas swirling around in my head, and I just wrote whatever came to mind. And yeah, I was cranking out maybe 2 or 3 stories a week at that point.
Hmm.
And my first story, uh, God, I got the idea for I wanted to start writing stories because um, I was on 4chan, yes, 4chan, on the MLP threads, and I saw the Anonymous in Equestria stories.
Hmm.
I was looking at them thinking, I could do that. So I started writing my first green text basically, and that was and eventually somebody told me about film fiction, and I thought, oh, I think I'll get a better audience there. So I converted my story from green text to prose, stuck it on film fiction, and well, the rest is history, as it were.
Oh.
But I had no idea what I was doing. My first story, the one you're looking at right now in the stream,
Yep.
It was full of plot holes. It was rushed. The romance part was rushed, especially. It took about 3 days for them to go from friends to banging each other.
That's every HIE back then, though. That was the meta.
Yeah, but yeah, there was just plot holes, spelling mistakes, grammar mistakes. There was times when I was switching between first and third person, and second person as well, and it was all over the place. But people seemed to like it,
Yeah,
Okay.
and
which surprised me, to be honest. I wasn't expecting it to get that level of support. I was like, oh, people are gonna can this into hell, and they're like, no, no, we want more, we want more.
yeah,
And
this
so
Okay.
is
I wrote about 5 sequels.
yeah. I mean, this was the
Okay.
days before self-inserts were considered cringe on the website too. So you kind of
Yeah,
hit the jackpot with the exact
Nice.
timing that you posted it.
that certainly
Okay.
seems that way.
So with that said, well, with your first story and how you right now, how much improvement do you think you made over time?
I think I improved a lot. Uh, the story as it is now, I think it's got a little bit more flow to it. It's not full of. I fixed most of the plot. I think I fixed all of the plot holes. The spelling and grammar is a lot better. It's the pacings. I added new chapters to pace things out, and yeah, it's a definite improvement over what it was when I first published it. That's absolutely certain.
Nice.
Why is this chapter only 47 words? I'm actually curious about this.
That's a link to the
Ugh.
chapter.
Aha! Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Back when that was a very common practice.
Yes.
Oh, I
Okay.
wanna. I'm curious. Are you one of those maniacs who will occasionally put out like 47,000 word chapters? Have you ever done that before?
No, I don't think I have. Actually, what I'm saying, what do I mean? I don't think I have. I know I haven't.
What's the longest single chapter or one shot you've written?
Yeah.
Do you know that off the top of your head?
Oh, I actually don't know, but I could probably find out real quick. I just no, come on. Don't do this to
Oh
me,
man,
internet.
yeah, I forgot. Geoverse Part 6 was 100,000 words.
It was, yep. But that was basically just me writing humans into season 6 of the show. It wasn't really anything special.
You had a couple 8K chapters.
Yeah. There we go. Words.
Have you ever have you ever written really big chapters and had to split them apart to make them appear shorter? Because I would count that.
I think for one of my stories I did do that. I can't remember which one it was though. Uh, but looking at my list now, the longest one shot I've written was. Ah, fuck, I don't know. I'm not gonna go through this. Nobody wants to hear that. uh,
I mean, we're a podcast. The entire point of this podcast is just we're about bullshitting our way until the end. So just say whatever the hell you want.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
yeah, the longest one shot I wrote was about 5,000 odd words.
Okay, all right.
How many words was
That's
it?
about 5,000.
It was
Oh, okay.
yeah, about 5,000 words,
Okay. Yeah, I
which
went through I think all of your 1,000 word stories here. Let me sort it by words and
Well, there's a lot of chapter text that Geo wrote, so that doesn't really work.
yeah.
I wish you could actually.
I mean,
I wish there was a chaptered versus like one shot tag on the website so you could separate like that. That'd be kind of cool.
yeah. I mean, it did give me an assessment of his style, his basic style at least.
Oh yeah.
I noticed with a lot of your copies, the way you structure them is they're all about setup, and they build up to a specific joke, and for the most part, they're very effective. I like how many of them just come out of nowhere. I guess where do you think you get your ideas for those comedies? Do they just pop up in your head? Do you structure them after a pre-existing work not by you?
um, most of my stories, like the comedy one shots, I just make them up as I go along. Like sometimes, like for Celestia's lollipop, for example,
Mhm.
I saw the picture on Derpy Brewer and I thought it was adorable, and the idea
Nice.
just came to me immediately. And I thought I could probably crank 1,000 words out of that, and so I sat down, off it went, and yeah, some people didn't get the joke at first, and they're like, they were asking me in the comments, I don't get it. What do you mean? So I just had to tell them, just go back a couple of paragraphs towards the end, you'll get it. And they're like, oh, I get it, yeah.
I think I know which story it was you're talking about. I don't know. I went through a lot of them. Real quick, I just want to name some of my favorites. Okay, I have a very weird sense of humor. It's extremely ironic to the point to the things that are just like really out there I enjoy. I like sixes and sevens because at first I was like, okay, this isn't really funny. All Discord is doing is saying six is a really good friend of mine, and then he just brings six into existence. I was like, okay, this is a very Discord thing to do. It's fucking hilarious. It was fucking great. Where was what was the one I was going to talk about?
I put my favorite up on the screen. This one was cracking me up the other day as I read through it finally.
Oh, nice. Oh yeah,
Yes.
Twi Chat. That one, I did a 180 on that one, even though I knew exactly what was going to happen because I used to spend a lot of time on chat roulettes.
That's where
And
the inspiration came from, yeah.
yeah, I'm just gonna spoil it. It just ends with Twilight watching a guy jerk off. Yeah, I'm surprised he got away with that in a T-rated story.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
I'm
remember this
surprised.
story too. Damn.
I'm surprised the admins didn't come down on me for that one. That was.
That's something I forgot to read during the cast. I was gonna read the Scottman verse. That's what I'm calling it. I
Oh,
read the
Yeah.
first.
Rarity versus the Scotsman? Or
Yeah. Scotsman and the
Yeah,
Fashionista, yeah.
yeah.
yeah. I read the first one. I was like, I gotta read the others, and I just didn't.
I
They're
will
pretty
admit
funny.
those ones do need a bit of work done to them.
You wrote
Uh,
those way back when, as like 11 years
oh,
ago as well, right?
oh, yeah, absolutely. Ages ago. Because I noticed that
So
quite there wasn't any stories of where somebody was doing a Scottish accent, you can. And so I thought, well, I'll just write one where a guy talks with a Scottish accent.
so because you use like the Scotsman in the title, the entire time I was reading, I just pictured the Scotsman from Samurai Jack, and it just made it funnier to me.
So, I have a question for you, Gio.
Oh, yes,
Um,
go on.
so you wrote, what was it, 7 parts to the Geoverse? There's 7, or is there 8?
There's 7 of them, yeah,
There's 7. Okay,
right
by the
now.
way. Um,
Oh,
JMC
thank you,
Entertainment in
GMC.
chat says they like your accent.
Thank you.
It's very
Um,
sexy.
so what was your favorite um Geoverse story to write out of the main 7?
Um,
And well, I
probably
guess there's also a prologue.
probably a season of adventure was my favorite one to write, especially the bonus chapters because I just had so much fun with the bonus chapters and that. People were giving me ideas, and you're not funny, Alex. Fucking whales. Oh, you cheeky bastard.
So go on. Why
Uh,
was that one your favorite to write?
yeah, there's the bonus chapters because as people were reading it, they were leaving me ideas like, "Oh, what if such and such happened, or this happened, or what if you did this?" And I thought I just picked up these ideas, made a note of them, and just once the story was over, I just started writing all these bonus chapters. So like, um, one where like, what episode was it? Magic Joe. Uh, Trixie comes along, she's doing her thing,
Mm-hmm.
and one of the human characters, he used to be a spy, and people were saying, well, why didn't he teach her a lesson? Some of that 007 action stuff. So I wrote a chapter about that where he basically does exactly that. He basically beats up Trixie.
Oh,
Oh man.
And yeah, there's a whole bunch of other ones. I don't want to spoil them for anyone. It's just it's but I still had a lot of fun with them.
Yeah, please don't, because I need to read through these again because, I mean, gosh, the last time I read the Geoverse was 2013, early 2014. I need to go through it again. And maybe I'll leave a comment on every single chapter so that as you're reading them, you're like, damn, maybe I should continue this. And you'll make your fans happy. But
I haven't actually watched Equestria Girls JMC.
Really?
I've only seen the first two movies, and I just didn't think it would be of any use to me in the series to adapt it. I just wouldn't see the point in it. It just wouldn't fit, I think.
yeah, I think for me, EQG is kind of hard to adapt. Personally, I just have more fun writing the ponies. Anyways,
Yeah.
it's a more fantastical world. If I wanted to write EQG, I would just go out there and write like a basic high school story, like on every AO3 AU.
EKG just misses the point of My Little Pony. The whole point is they're ponies, not they're not human, but they're ponies. Adds to the charm of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do we have next, Mugany?
Okay. How did you get into fan fiction? Was it always My Little Pony, or were there others before?
No, MLP is the first and only thing I've written fan fiction for. Uh, as I said earlier, it was because it was all down to 4chan. I was reading the Anon Equestria stuff on there, and I thought it looked good, so I thought I'd try it myself, and here we are. Until then, I'd
Okay.
never written fanfic for anything before, and it was quite surprising that I wanted to do it for ponies of all things.
So like what drew you to Anon in a question? What was the part of it you found interesting?
uh,
And you
honest,
know what? Take it as since you know you're a big Anon fan, or at least it used to be, from my understanding. Go and explain to the people who hate Anon what the big draw is, because I know that's a big topic around the site right now.
oh boy.
He wants you to
What
drama
the
post. He wants you to drama
yes,
post.
drama posts. Let's go.
Oh shit.
I, I know Priest will appreciate this.
Well, I seem to be having internet problems. I need to go.
Oh no, no.
No,
No.
no, don't cower out.
Um. Well,
You just need to explain like well is Anon in a question still interesting to you? I should start with that, and if it is, like what do you find interesting about it?
no, it's just how can I say that? How can I explain it? What drew me into it in the first place was I just thought the stories were funny. I thought some of them were really good. Some of them were funny, and some of them were a bit sad. And the fact that Anon is meant to be you. That's what I think. I guess that's what drew me to it because Anon was meant to be me basically. And then it's what drew me into writing fanfic in the first place. I know how many times I'm going to keep saying that. um, but I know some people don't like it, and well, I can't really explain why I do. It's just something that it just clicked in my brain, I guess, if that makes any sense, which it probably fucking doesn't.
No, it does. It definitely
It
does.
does. That's how people get into ponies. It just clicks with their brain. It's how you explain furries. They don't know why they like anthropomorphic characters. They just like anthropomorphic characters. There's like a pre-established psychology on what we're interested in, and I guess you just going through the 4chan message boards and just stumbling on this thing that was new to you, you just found this new interest,
Yeah, exactly.
and
Yeah, it's
yeah.
although empty plot filler makes a good point, and honestly, it's pony puss. What's not to love?
Yes,
It's
he
true.
does. He slays the puss. Um,
Yeah, it's
okay.
kind of it's. I know it's a bit. I know I ramble a lot there, but basically, it's just. I just thought it was interesting. That's what drew me into it. That's the
Yes.
TLDR version.
I'm
Yes.
quickly pull this
Please.
image up on the screen here.
Oh, please, Rambo. We want you
This
to.
is this is One of the
Oh my
first posts
god.
ever about MLP on 4chan, by the way. And this middle dude there was an absolute prophet, saying this is gonna have so much porn.
Especially with Twilight Sparkle.
Yeah, I love the next guy. Why would it? The first MLP didn't have much Rule 34. Yeah, it didn't. Like, the internet didn't exist when that came out, bro. At least not like
Oh my
commercially.
god. Oh my
Oh, you sweet
god.
summer child.
Yeah, it's old image. That was the day before the show aired. So
These people predicted the future. Holy shit.
someone on 4chan also came up with Brony because someone said Pony Bros and then another guy said Brony, more like Brony. Am I right? And that's how it started.
Oh my god.
So that's the other thing. A
Okay.
lot of people will like shit on Anon and 4chan, and they don't realize that they wouldn't have this fandom without either of those things. So, you know, they can
I
not like it all they want, but to pretend that it's not important to fanfiction in general is just false.
I don't know why. I'm just so invested in that image you shared. Like, holy shit, it's like a time capsule.
Here, I have another one.
Hmm.
I think you guys
Oh
will
my
get a
god,
kick out of it.
I was watching a video on the Internet 1.0 yesterday. It's basically just the internet
There it is.
from the early 80s to late 90s.
Yeah. That's the
Oh
guy
my
who came up
god.
with Brony, and we'll never know who it was. He is anonymous. So
Oh my god.
Total
Imagine being
legend.
that guy. Imagine being that one guy to blame.
yeah. So I have another question for you, Gio.
That's why I'm here.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, what is your personal favorite one shot that you've ever written? Like, if you had to pick one thing that has always stood out to you, you think it's you wouldn't even think you'd need to go back and make changes to it. It's just perfect how it is. What story would that be?
Um. Oh, nah. Probably drawing board. That's probably my favorite. Cause I just as I was writing it, I just kept picturing it happening in front of me, and I just felt it was so adorable.
It's very recent too. Well, recent as far as your stories go. 2020. Um,
Yeah.
Twilight is drawing and Celestia is her canvas. Very simple, but that is adorable. Looking at this art, I can tell this is what
Yeah.
made you want to
You
draw
you
it. You
need
found that
yeah you
art.
yeah exactly I had to resize the hell out of that in order to upload it to FimFiction.
Oh man.
It's much
That's...
bigger on Derpy Brew. You should go and check it out. It's amazing.
Holy cow. That is absolutely beautiful. I'm going to put this in the Twitch chat so people can have this picture if they'd like. That is wonderful. Yeah, no, I can definitely see why you would want to make art of that. That's incredible. And I'll need to
Yeah,
read this because this is one of the ones I haven't gotten up to yet, but that art is just
peop,
wow.
yeah. People keep telling me I need to write more Philly Twilight stuff as well.
Philly Twilight has a lot of potential. Like her relationship with Celestia is just one of the cutest little things in the show.
Yep.
God. Um,
It's way late asking this. Did Gio get to have time to select a background image for the
oh
cast?
yeah. Would you like a background image, or do you want me to just stay here like a gremlin on your on your FimFic profile?
It's good advertisement.
Uh, yeah, just stay as it is. I don't mind.
Okay.
All right. All
So
right, pulling up the.
I have another question then, since we're going to keep it how
Okay,
it
go ahead.
is. Tell us about this OC of yours.
My OC, Haywick. Oh, yeah, well, that's actually just the profile picture there. It's actually the row 34 version. Fuck. The rule the rule 63 version. I wanted an OC for my first story, and I didn't want to use like any of the characters, the Doctor characters, like Red Heart, Stable, etc. I didn't want to use any of them, so I came up
Mhm.
with my own. And I spent a lot of time just, you know, tinkering about with a design and whatnot, and then eventually I came out with what you see there, except obviously not the long hair.
Yeah.
and I couldn't think of a name for him, so I just took a map, got a map and a pen, just stuck a pen in a map of the UK.
And you landed on Haywick.
Yeah, there's a town in the Scottish border called Hoyk, so I just took that and added a Y to it.
Okay. And
that's how he got his name.
and it's a good OC. You know, I mean, a lot of people back then just tried to go like super colorful and make their OC stand out, give them insanely cool special talents, and you just
Red
said,
and Black
nah, fuck
Elemental
that. I'm
OC.
just gonna, yeah, but you just said, nah, fuck that. I'm just gonna make a standard unicorn here that's a doctor, give them a Dr. Cutie mark. And honestly, I think that helps it stand out in a sea of really, really fucking terrible OCs from that era.
And eventually, I thought I wanted to create a female version, so I went into the pony, General Zoe's pony creator.
Yeah, of course. Of course. We love
Yep.
Pony Creator.
Yep, I went into that, took the little code that I had from my original OC, and then made those changes that you see there. Gave her the longer mane and the longer tail, and yeah, I think I'm actually using the female version more than the male version nowadays.
Yeah.
Okay, so but
So
here's
well, real quick, Mugany. So we just talked about this. I have to admit something. So I am one of those people who used the Pony Creator for a cover art, so I'm very familiar with it. And I had one of those trash OCs, which is why yours stands out to me so much. Because this thing was just a piece of shit and I hate him and I want him to die. And then I come over here and look at this and I'm like, oh man, that's actually so nice. I wish I could have been that fucking smart back then.
like nice. But yeah, okay, so here's the ultimate question: do you have porn of your OC?
I do, yes.
Yes. Can we see it?
No, not on the stream.
Show me the porn. Show me the porn. You don't have to stream it.
Hang on, I'll see if I can
Oh
get
my
some.
god.
There's some. I've got some uploaded to Derpy Buru. Hang on.
All right.
I'll just
All right.
log in so I can get my.
Somebody out there, quick docs him. We're gonna get him fired from his job.
By the way, is the female version also Dr. Haywick, or is it like Nurse Haywick?
It's Nurse, because there is a story where the two of them appear together, so I needed some way of telling them apart.
Gotcha.
I know people complain. They're like, "Oh, men can be doctors too, no, women can be nurses too," and they're like, "Well, yeah, I know that, but this is just telling
Not
them
in the
apart.
show.
It's
To my
nothing."
recollection, in the show, is there a female doctor? Like,
No, I don't think so.
I know there's a female veterinarian, the one who helped Spike when he was getting bigger, but there's.
I mean, if you count Nurse Redheart as a doctor, because you can just say that.
It says nurse in her name.
The only reason why I'm saying that is because she's the one who's taking care of Rainbow Dash, but then again, she also just.
Well, that's because the doctor only really comes in to give like a diagnosis. The nurse is normally the one who takes care of you when you're in a hospital.
That's why I keep saying I'm just saying.
All right, your Geo has your promised pornography.
I'm not going to put it in the stream chat.
Just yeah, don't do that. Yeah, don't do that.
Seven won't look it up. I'll look it up for Seven.
Don't worry, Geo's putting it in the Discord, and they can't see it on stream, so it's all right.
Also, as soon as I heard this character was a nurse, I just knew there was going to be porn of it.
Yeah, I'll just message it to you, Mugany.
Well, I wanted to see it. I wanted to see it.
I'll message it to you as well.
I wasn't expecting you to just straight up send the image. I thought that you were just going to send a link to the Derpy Buru page, like the catalog.
Damn, that is high quality, actually. What the hell? That's crazy. How much did that cost? I'm actually curious.
I can't remember, but I think the artist gave me a discount for that one because he had a comic featuring him and a Celestia, which I converted into a fanfic. So he gave me a discount on my next commission from him.
Nice. Alex in the chat found your character's OC tag on Derpy Buru, by the way. So, fun. It's been posted.
Alex doxed you for us. Thank you, Alex.
All right,
and thank you for providing me with his work information.
What's your next question, Mugany?
Okay. Okay, what pieces of fiction have shaped your writing style the most? So when I say pieces of fiction, I mean generalized. It can be movie, a TV show. It can be fan fiction itself. Just so long, it can even be a song. Um, so long as it influenced your writing style, what is it?
Uh, hmm. That is a hard question to answer. I can't think of anything off the top of my head. Uh,
Um, do you want to
shit.
do you or I guess I shouldn't be asking you guys who are going to be interviewing you next week, but if you want seven, do you want to say the things that influenced your writing style?
Geo actually did. I haven't ever. I don't know if I've
Uh,
told you that, but
really?
uh, yeah, no, like Geo wrote a lot of really funny one shots, and I wanted to start doing that, so I would try to emulate Geo's writing and comedy style to the best of my ability, and I don't think I did as good back then, which is why my stories didn't at that time do as good as they could have, and then slowly I started to evolve the comedy one shots into my own thing as well, and that's when they got better. But no, I mean, I wrote a lot because you wrote, Geo. That's honestly why I'm still on the
Nice.
website. If I hadn't met you, I probably wouldn't still be here, realistically.
Nice.
That's cheers. Appreciate that.
You're very welcome. And thank you for writing.
Although I haven't done that for ages.
Oh, Empty Plot Filler says, look, just lie and say it was them.
Well, yes, it was them. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, but okay, so I suppose
I
you have
have
to have some. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
there. I've blah, 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 blah. There have been times when I've been reading a story and I've seen how the like most of the like as I said earlier, my early stories were like horrible messes of grammar, prop errors, and whatnot. It was sometimes by reading other stories, especially those in the featured box, is when I realized that, oh, that's a grammar error that I need to fix that in my story. I need to do this properly. I need to do that properly. Um, so just by reading stories and fanfic in general is what helped me improve my writing better, like make my grammar better, make my pacing better, and like a certain few authors, like The Abyss was one of them. I read some of his stories, and uh, there's a few others as well. Uh,
There were some big
oh,
ones back
fuck.
then. There was like The Abyss, Device Heretic, Anonymous Pegasus was huge.
Oh, yeah, Anonymous
Obsolescence used
Pegasus,
to
that's another
write.
one.
Oh yeah.
Yep. It's just, yeah, Wu-Ten as well. Wu-Ten as well.
Oh, I miss Wu 10.
Okay. Okay, so I guess like a way of explaining it to maybe this will help you think. Okay. When I think of like works that influence me, I think of scenes that are stuck in my head, like scenes from a show or movie that are just stuck in my head because they rub off on me in a certain way, and
Yeah.
that just intuitively becomes part of my writing style. It's like, do you have anything you can think of there?
Um, no, but I sometimes will slip references to things such as like TV shows and whatnot into some of my stories. An example being, which what was it called again? Button Mash Goes to a Slumber Party. There's a Red Dwarf reference in there that not a lot of
Oh,
people have gotten.
okay. Thank you very much for the 2 gift subs, MT Plot Filler. Um, you know, that's also quite the accomplishment because you managed to write a button mash story where he didn't have sex with his mom. Um, I hope you're
Wow,
proud of that. That's like a
game
milestone right there.
game
Oh yeah,
changer, first of its
absolutely.
kind. Oh my god.
So I have a question that was kind of leading off of that one there. Um,
Yep.
is there any story that you read way back when that has stuck with you all this time and you feel like sometimes what you write might still not be like entirely influenced by it, but that you got better because you read that story? or because you read that story rather? Like, is there like one super favorite story of yours?
Um, there is one that I read. It's I think it what's it called again? Oh yeah, A Taste of the Good Life by Eakin.
Ekin was so good. I
Yeah,
understand that.
I read that and it was. I thought it was great, especially the whole, back. Obviously, this was written back when before we knew who Scootal's parents were and how much of a pair of arseholes they are.
Yeah.
Uh, and yeah, it just stuck with me even now. I keep finding myself going back and rereading it even now, all these years later. It's just that good.
Yeah. I don't blame you. Yeah. I mean, I haven't read that one in particular. I have read some
Oh,
Ekin stuff
you
though,
should,
because
you
Ekin
should.
did
Yeah,
Hard Reset, which was awesome. I should read it. You
Research
know what?
nice.
Let me put that in my read later then. I will read that tonight before bed, just for you.
Nice.
All right. What do you have next for us, Muggany?
Okay. Okay. So, start by saying, how long ago have you written something? Like, how long has it been?
the last story I wrote was well, 2023. But I hadn't written in, and then it was 2021, and then 2020, and yeah, it's just I'm not writing as much as I'd like to these days.
Okay. I guess. Okay. I'm kind of gonna. I have the question written down here. I'm just gonna phrase it a little differently. Okay. So, you started off very prolific. You kind of died down there for a while. So, the
Yeah.
question I have written is like, what's um what advice can you give to somebody like me who writes slowly? But given that you kind of pattern out after a while, um, what can you tell me? Like, what is it that got you to slow down after a while?
I just ran out of ideas. That's basically what it was. Uh, when I
Oh,
first
okay.
started, I had all these, as I said, I had all these ideas swirling around in my head, and also friends that I'd made in the fandom gave me ideas as well. There's a few of my earlier stories that were given to me, ideas of which were given to me by other people. I'll just find them real quick. An example would probably be Four Friends Play a Board Game. That was the first one shot I ever wrote. That was based on a conversation I had with some friends. A different kind of chaos again. That was somebody challenged me to write something like that, so I did. What else we got?
Yeah. I know it's like one thing that's constant with like the 1,000 word one shots is it was somebody who dared you to write it.
Yeah.
I'm curious. The one where Twilight Sparkle drinks Earn Brew was that your creation, or did someone also formulate that idea?
I believe that was a result of a conversation I had with a friend. Yeah, it was. Back when TeamSpeak was a thing.
I gotta know how the
Uh,
fuck that conversation went. That's crazy.
yeah, I think he likes Iron Brew as well, and we were talking about how awesome it is. And I think one of us raised the question about what would happen if it ended up in Equestria. And I said that, well, Twilight Sparkle would no doubt want to, look at it for science. And he's like, oh, can you imagine what would happen if she did? And I thought, well, actually, yes, I can imagine what would happen. And so I wrote the story, and then sometime later, I found that the cover art for it, I found that on Derpy Buru, because somebody told me about the Iron Brew tag, and I didn't know somebody had actually drawn that until years after I'd written the story.
Yep, there it is. And it's very, very well drawn as well.
Iron Brew, get your through, mate.
So we do have a couple questions from the chat that I wanted to ask for you.
Yep.
Both from James C. Entertainment. One of them, how did you come up with the name Geo?
Oh well. I've been using the name Geodesic Dragon for, well, since I was a teenager, for probably about 20 odd years now. And back when MSN Messenger was a thing, I
Mm-hmm.
don't know if anyone remembers that.
Oh, of course I
Um,
do. Muggany doesn't.
oh,
Don't worry.
I'm too
oh
young.
well, there you go. Obviously, so you'll know then, Sev, that you had to have a profile and stuff to go with your MSN account.
Yeah, and they had to
And
be unique names as well.
yeah, exactly. I'm creating there I am creating my MSN account. But the name that I wanted, which I can't remember, that was taken, and Geodesic Dragon was the alternative they suggested, so I took it, and that's pretty much it.
That's how a lot of people got their names, is the Microsoft suggestions. Because I mean, think about all the people
Yep.
who got their name from Xbox Live because they couldn't come up with one, and it does. It's always that same basic formula. It's like an adjective followed by a noun, so it'll be something like dejected ferret 87 or something every single time,
Oh my god, I just
and
looked it
then
up.
Geodesic Dragon. So
Oh my god, it came out the year I was born. Holy crap.
yeah,
Wow.
Innocent Messenger's
Okay,
old.
so Seven, I know you're 30. How old are you, Geo?
I'll be 37 this year.
Oh my god, I complain about getting older. I'm just lucky I'm young still. Holy
Hey, watch.
shit.
Hey, listen to this, Geo. Hey, Muggany.
What?
Do you know back when me and him were younger, you had to pay for your internet browser? It wasn't free.
What?
Yeah, if you wanted to use something like Netscape Navigator, you had to pay for it.
Oh yes.
That
You had
is
to buy a
interesting.
license to
Oh,
use
oh
your
yeah, this is.
browser. That didn't
Oh yeah,
change until Microsoft bundled IE with Windows 95 SE.
oh yeah, this is when internet ran on telephone wires, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, and
Oh
98
yeah.
SE, sorry, but yeah, it was
The dial-up.
dial up, yeah. It was not
Oh.
technically yeah, cuz a lot of people think you hooked into a into the Ethernet port. You did not. You hooked into the phone jack. It was awful. 56K internet. There are still people who have that today, and I'm
You.
sorry for them.
Okay, I have a fun idea for a conversation here. Do you guys remember some of the old websites that came with that version of the internet, pre 2000s internet? I assume
Uh,
you would be like really young during that time, so I don't know if you would remember 87 by Geo.
I can remember there's like a few of the more obscure ones, like the GeoCities and all that, and people building really silly websites, and the one that just had the dancing baby on it. I remember that.
Oh,
And
Remember when
um,
NeoGAF launched?
oh
NeoGAF
god.
used to
NeoGAF?
be huge. Yeah, it was
What's
a forum.
NeoGAF?
It was a forum centralized for like anything. There was forums for basically everything on there, and it got
Oh,
huge. Something Awful used to actually be huge as well, and that died out right around the time MLP was getting popular. Like, I mean, some people still use that website, but
Newgrounds as
um,
well.
yeah,
I was
Newgrounds did start in like 1996. Actually, it was also a ugly yellow piece of shit back then.
I was listening to a video yesterday called the the Dead Internet Iceberg, and a lot of just covered websites on Internet 1.0, Internet before the 2000s. And one of them was just a joke website called Black People Love Us, and it's just a white couple explaining why black people love them so much. And there's actually audio files of black people talking about why they love this white couple so much. And this is so ahead of its time because people didn't know they were trolling, so they got a lot of hate comments on the websites.
Early internet trolls were different, honestly.
Yes, they were honestly
But I
fucking
mean,
amazing.
those were also the days where if you click the
Um,
wrong link, whoops, now you have 87 Trojans on your computer. Sorry.
I remember the red the brick maze the
Oh,
save
the
screen.
screensaver.
Yeah, the screensaver.
Oh, that's not even the good one. Um,
Yeah.
there's Geo. I don't know if you know this, but the one on Windows 95 and 98 where the words will like fly at you and then fly back away. Did you know if you
Yeah.
put the word as volcano, it would actually just give you a different volcano's name every single time it flew a word at you?
I did not know that.
Yeah, and you can also put something like Microsoft and it'll shoot their employee names at you. They had some pretty cool Easter eggs, but no, the pipes was the place to be. That was the crazy
Oh
one.
yeah, I love the pipes.
Yeah.
Uh, okay. Do either of you remember using floppy drives, floppy disks.
Oh,
Yes.
floppy diskette? Yeah.
Yep.
I never had to use.
I
one
never
of those.
used. I used 3.5 inch. I never used a 5 1/4 because that was a bit before my time. But I did
I
use
did.
three and a half inch.
I
Back
didn't
in the
know there were
days when
different
you said
types.
when you could say you had a 3.5 inch floppy and nobody would laugh at you.
It just pains me that nowadays kids will see that a floppy disk and just call it the save icon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's sad. It really is.
Yeah.
Ah, yes, an archaic piece of technology.
So I'm actually
Well, what
curious
about
about something, Geo. Oh, go ahead.
what about rotary phones? Remember those?
Oh yeah, rotary phones, dude. If kids born after 2000 had to use a rotary phone to like call 911, they'd probably just die.
Yeah, I saw a video of some kids who were showing they were showing this thing. They're like, well, they were just poking it and expecting it to work instead of
Oh, like they were just pushing on the
moving the thing.
buttons.
They were just pushing it and going, why is it not working? It was quite sad to watch. I felt old.
Oh man. No, they're fun to use too, honestly.
Yeah.
Like I like rotary phones.
I'm trying to think of the oldest thing I own. I bought some ration cards for $10 at the antique store. I'd say that's pretty cool. Yeah, yeah, they're like World War II ration cards. I haven't really gone through them because they're fragile.
Yeah, but that doesn't have to do
Wow.
with the internet.
But he's just talking about rotary phones.
And the internet, you had to connect via the phone line back then.
That is true. That is true. I mean, the oldest thing I remember about early internet. I don't know. I was very young.
Look,
I
if you
remember
remember
going to
when
the.
Shockwave and Flash were owned by Macromedia, you're an older internet user.
Oh yes.
I remember when PC games came on in disc form. I remember that when that actually mattered.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't have Steam.
So, speaking of old chat programs, Geo, did you ever use Xfire?
I did for a while, yeah. And also Skype as well, as JMC Entertainment's asking in the chat there. Remember Skype? I do.
Yeah, of course.
Everybody remembers Skype.
And everyone went to Discord because they started putting ads on Skype.
Remember Facebook?
I do. I
Oh,
do. I still
Facebook.
use that. I'm old.
Oh, we're all so old.
All right,
And
shut up. You didn't
also,
even know you don't even know how to use a rotary phone, I bet.
I mean, I grew up with one. I didn't really. I just wanted to sound cool.
again, also JMC Entertainment again. Did you know a portable disc player is in a museum now? I did not know
That's
that. That is sad.
What?
wow. You can still
Oh,
buy those in stores. Why is it in a museum?
Uh,
I you know what? I was just reminded of something. Like, I often think back to some of the commercials I grew up with, and realize some of them now, like the products they're selling, would not sell well today. Like the video now. Does anybody remember the video now?
I do not remember that.
It was basically you can watch movies on the go. It was like there were different colors. There's this small handheld device that you could hold, and they came with like little discs that you could
Oh,
just
no, I
fire.
had one of those. I did have one of those, actually.
Yes.
I used to watch the Amanda show on it. Those things sucked. The screen on them was just dog shit.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think I ever owned like a full like show or movie to watch on those. My sister owned one of those, and I think even then she only owned some music videos to watch. But yeah, those things are lame. What was it? What else was there? I know there was also those TV headphones.
Oh, like headphones you'd plug into the. I mean, you can still do that.
Yeah, you can, but like these were specifically advertised for the TV. That you just connect an antenna to the TV and put some headphones on. That you can, but now you can just pretty much do that with any TV that has a Bluetooth connection.
I still remember having to plug something into the TV just to get a fucking picture.
I
Having to
know.
twiddle with
Yes.
the aerial and all that.
Dude,
Oh
that
yes.
People will never understand before you could just plug a coaxial right into the back of your TV how fucking obnoxious it was to plug those two forks, or sorry, to screw those two forks into the back of it so you could get a signal from your old ass game consoles. I,
Yep.
Oh my
oh
god.
my god. Yeah, no, if you buy one of those, get a coaxial adapter. Do yourself a favor so you don't hate life anymore. All right.
Yeah.
Ask Geo some more questions, though. Don't make him feel old this whole time. That's not nice.
I do what I want. I'm the young one here.
Do what
Okay,
your elders say.
yes, Dad. Okay, okay, I already asked you that. I already asked you that. I didn't write you a lot of questions this time around.
He's very unprepared.
So am I. It's fine.
Wow. Okay, you know what, here, Seven, I'll let you ask something while I'm coming up with more.
Okay, I've got a really good one. Geo, super important question for you. Very, very important.
Right.
What's one episode that you watched and you were like, God damn, this sucks. I'm gonna write something that's better than this, and it literally made you write a story out of spite. I feel like everyone has one of those. So did you?
No, I didn't actually. Is
You
that
never
bad?
wrote a fix-it fic, huh?
No, I never did.
All right. Well, how about this then? What's one episode that you saw that you wrote a story for it faster than any other?
Don't think I can. I honestly don't know.
It has been forever. I'm also making you feel old. I'm sorry. That was like 12 years ago. I'm just remembering back then it was like every week when the episode aired there'd be like a boom of new stories and it was always
Well,
awesome.
actually, I did write. I do remember writing a story after an episode aired. Um, it was series 8, I think, with the School of Friendship,
Oh yeah.
and I wrote. No way, that's my blog post. What the fuck am I doing? Yeah, I wrote Chancellor Nacy gets what he deserves. Like within
For that one.
within an hour or so of that episode finishing.
Yeah. So I have a cringe question. You don't have to reveal what happened. You don't have to reveal the actual graveyard here. But would you like to tell the audience why the comments are disabled on this story?
I
Well,
didn't even notice. Holy shit.
when it first came out, it just basically started a war in the comments. Some people were saying that Nacy was a racist, he should have been fired, and other people were saying, oh no, he had a point, and it just kicked off this whole shit show, and eventually just got to the point where I was sick of seeing like 100 notifications or whatever with new comments, and I'm like, nah, fuck this, I'm just gonna turn them off.
Yeah, Geo showed me this graveyard. He unblocked it a couple weeks ago so I could take a look at it. Um,
Yeah, some
Good
of the
lord,
comments.
this thing turned political real fast.
Oh, yep.
Ooh, it was getting spicy down there. So
Oh
I definitely
god.
understand why you disabled it. And because, like, even after a moderator came and said, "Yo, y'all need to shut the hell up," they kept going. They didn't stop.
Yep.
Like
God
I had
damn.
never seen something like that before. Normally, when the moderator says to stop, they're just gone. These people had some balls on them. They just kept going.
All over a story that somebody just wrote because they didn't like a character in an episode.
Yep. Yep. Empty Plot Filler has a pretty good question for you. What was a story you wanted to write, but the plot was either too big or too complex for you to move forward with?
Uh, I did want to write a story some time ago. Can't remember what it was about actually. Fuck. What's it going to be about again? I can't remember. Uh, uh, I can't remember. I do remember. I did want to write something like that, a story that was meant to be a big one. But I just can't remember what it was about. All I do remember is I was looking at it. I created the story on FimFiction and everything ready for publication, and I was just looking at it going, I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing with this.
Was it was it
I,
going to be multi-chaptered?
it was going to be a multi-chapter thing. I actually started writing it, and eventually I just got to a point where I just did not for the life of me know how I was going to continue it. Yeah, exactly. Empty plot filler says it was so complex you had to wipe it from your mind. Yeah, it was. It was that. I just was sitting there thinking, no, I'm fucking done with this.
No, that's legit. I recently had Seiko go through and unremove every story I'd ever deleted. I didn't realize I had like 150 stories I had never published, and I was looking through some of these. It was like I'd wiped them from my memory, so I get what you're saying because I had no clue what the hell half of these things were. Um, so yeah, if there's a story that you just never published, I don't blame you for forgetting it. I had that one just recently that I published from 2015. I didn't know it existed. I think Soaring found it on FimFetch and showed it to me, and I was wondering how the hell it got archived on FimFetch when I never actually published it or anything like that. So it was kind of weird, but and then JMC wants to know, would you have been either a vice headmaster or a teacher if you were at the School of Friendship?
Well, if he's talking about myself, insert me, he probably would have been a vice headmaster because he's married to Twilight.
That's true. That's true. Well, isn't that a conflict of interest though?
No.
No, okay. No nepotism here. No, no siree. Look, as long as it's not naysay, your comment section will be happy. That's all that matters, I suppose. This was a I remember this like man. I didn't realize that it caused such drama in the comments though. That's honestly, you should be proud of that. When you are like when you have major drama happen, and you did the right thing too. You basically didn't reply to anybody as that argument was going on. You just let it play out. You were like, I'm not getting sucked into this, and that was the right thing to do.
Exactly. Yeah. I just felt that if I had stepped in and told people to stop, it was just backfired, and people, oh, you stay out of this, or you wrote it, but why didn't you explain what you're doing? And just no, I just did not want to deal with that at all.
Yeah, the site gets.
Drama.
Oh no, and yeah, that's you hate drama, but you chose to write on FimFix, so that was a mistake.
Yeah,
the perfect site for that.
Yeah, I think you get like a lot of unique comments on FimFiction because it is a very social website, but a lot of people are also autistic, so you get all kinds of comments. There you go.
That's true. The
and-
worst is I'm not gonna say their name, but there's one person who on their profile always points out that they have a specific physical ailment, and then people bully them for it, and they also do themselves no favors because they just always act stupid in every comment section they are ever in. And don't say it.
I'm not going to say their name, but I'm going to make a public service announcement. People watching this, if you know who this person is, if you know who this person we're talking about is, leave them alone, please.
Yeah, don't go to their page. A lot of people harass this person, and it's kind of sad, honestly.
Yeah, I know they say a lot of stupid stuff, but think about this way. They should be spending less time on the internet. It's very bad for their mentality. They're clearly not going to do that. So you can at the very least make them feel more comfortable, and they'll stop. They may stop saying less stupid shits. I'm just saying. So yeah, if you know who you're talking about, please stop doing that. And if you don't, just stop doing that to idiots on the internet and journal, and life will be better.
Yeah, don't feed the troll. Don't feed the troll. Yeah. That's rule number 1 of the internet. Now you have a question from Terradonk. Do you have any tropes that are actually guilty pleasures for you, Geo? Anything that most people look down on but you like writing?
I'll be honest. I actually don't know what that question means.
So a guilty pleasure there would be like, let's say you're surrounded by a bunch of macho tough dudes who listen to heavy metal all the time, and you're afraid to tell them that your favorite kind of music is K-pop because you don't want them to judge you. Do you have anything that you like to write that you feel like people might judge you for if you were to post it on FimFic? Like, is there anything like that?
The self-insert count?
That does count, actually, nowadays. Back when you first wrote it, it was definitely the meta, but nowadays, if you write a self-insert, you get relentlessly mocked.
Or I sometimes write a lot of second person stuff as well. Some people don't like that.
Yeah, that one's definitely touchy because you have the group that conflate it with a non and just hate it for that reason because they don't like a non, and then you also just have people who think it's lazy in general, and I don't agree with that. I've never thought second person is lazy. I've written a couple. Like you still have to do the writing no matter what. But
Okay.
yeah, I would say those count. And I mean, like I
Also,
said, you wrote one of the most successful self-insert series on the whole freaking website.
really? Okay.
I mean, hey, it went for 7 stories, and you never got like an immense amount of hate from people. So I'd say you succeeded.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, I have one more question, and then we can start on we can go to Lucky Seven's Unlucky 13 after that because
Yes.
it's already an hour in.
Mhm.
Oh
Okay.
wow.
This is a very quick question. I think you can answer this one fast. Okay. Which horse or creature would you fuck? You can only pick one.
Uh, unicorn.
But which unicorn? Which unicorn?
Well, given how many stories I've written about her, probably Twilight.
No, she's not a
Yep.
unicorn anymore. You can't pick her.
Uh, okay then. Rarity.
I mean, Rarity's a good choice because come on, look at her. She's a hoe.
Uh,
No, I'm kidding.
or maybe Sunburst mum, Stellar Flare, or
Wait, who
Twilight's
is
mum.
Stellar Flare? I gotta see this. Oh, that's Sunburst's mom.
Oh yeah, I would definitely fuck her.
All right. Okay, now.
Hey,
You know
I
what? That was
look,
the question. I guess that was the question.
yes, yes, exactly.
She did have a lot of porn written about her when that episode aired, so I mean,
And
it
I'm
is
Yep.
about
what
to
it
add to
is.
it.
Okay.
Okay, Seven, can you start your questions and I'll run to the restroom.
Okay. Gio, so this is Lucky Seven's on Lucky 13. You saw the podcast, so you know how this works. I just have 13 questions for you. Um, they're all going to be specifically based around you and the stuff that you've done on the website. So, my first question is how does it feel to know that you have like a sizable fan base out there of people who actually, bug you and message you and comment on your pics, asking you to continue. People who appreciate your work so much that they actually just want you to keep writing.
Honestly, it feels really good. I never expected to get that much support when I first started. As I said, I expected my stories to get downvoted into the fiery pits of red and black Alicorn OC hell. Uh, but yeah, I'm quite on. I'm honestly, I just appreciate my supporters and and the people who read my story. I support them. I just love them so much. I know that sounds sappy, but it makes me feel really happy to know that that these people are enjoying what I do.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like, there are a lot of people out there who say that you should only write for yourself. And I definitely agree to an extent, but there's nothing wrong with being happy that people love the stuff that you're putting out there. And I definitely get that feeling. Um, okay, so question two. Is there any story in the Geoverse right now out of the 8 that you have that if you could go back, you would rewrite it and why?
Uh, Probably right now, parts 4 and 5. I actually have been thinking about trying to rewrite them for a while, especially part 4, because it just seems a bit rushed. It's only like 5 chapters or something. Doesn't really explain much about how the two characters, fell for each other, and yeah, it's yeah, like right there, 5 chapters. And it's just
Yeah,
so quick,
I
but it's
definitely
just
get that. And then part 5 was not quite as short, 17,000 words, but yeah, compared to some of the other ones you had, I mean,
Yeah, part 5. Part 5 was just basically a bunch of one-shot romance fics all tied together by a loose thread of a plot.
Mm.
And part of me's thinking I should go back into part 5 and add like a whole bunch of new chapters to just spread things out, like maybe make little arcs for each of the couples in the story, just
Yeah.
to like, explain how they met, how they fell for each other, and just pad things out and make it look a bit more realistic than, oh, they meet, they fell in love, they fuck.
Also, JMC, yes, there are 8. There's a prologue, so that's why I include that, which is, you know, definitely good reading, I'm sure. Because you didn't mention it, and I mean, is that the last one that you've written currently, or was that written before part 7?
I think that was written before part 7.
Okay. And then,
Yeah.
yeah, part 7 was also quite short. Was that supposed to be that short, or?
Well, what happened there was I did have a co-writer for the series,
Mhm.
Crimson Star.
I remember
Uh,
Crimson.
yeah, unfortunately, he eventually got to the point where he just basically straight up told me he was sick of being my co-writer, and so we parted ways, and I haven't seen him for years. I think the last thing he was online was like 2013 or something like that.
Yeah, he definitely quit the site. It was like 2014, but he quit the site a long time
Yeah,
ago.
and the original part 7 was going to be called A Season of Terror, and that was meant to be like this really long story about how Ace, his character Ace Saru, the Doctor, about how he basically went mental and tried to take over Equestria. But without Crimson's input, I had no idea how to finish that story, because he was writing all the sciencey parts of it, and I just didn't know what the fuck to do with it. So basically, part 7, as it is now, Evil Rising, that's basically like could you call it a retcon? I don't know. Uh, Basically, there is a part in that where, or no, is it no, part 6 actually? Sorry, end of part 6. I rewrote the epilogue to that.
Hmm.
The epilogue for part 6 was meant to be um, for part 7, A Season of Terror. Actually, you can see there, bonus chapter 15 is the old epilogue,
Yep.
and
Which is the one I have read, of course, because I read it back then, funnily
yeah,
enough.
and then there's the new epilogue up there,
Which,
which was written in 2014 to
yeah.
yeah just wrap things up, hopefully. But yeah, if Crimson was still around, then maybe we'd probably try and get back into writing together. But like I said, I've not seen him for ages,
Yeah.
and
2015. Makes me sad. A lot of people leave the site that just
yeah,
really wish
exactly.
wouldn't. Speaking of, that actually leads into my next question.
Uh-huh.
Is there any authors that have left the site that their absence has just really stuck out to you? Like for me, uh, thank you for the bits, by the way, Mugany. Like for me, there's the Descendant. I miss that fucker always going on everyone's page and welcoming them. And then Rainbow Bob was huge back when we were early off writing.
Oh yeah,
Um,
I remember them. Yeah.
yeah. Is there anyone that is like those two are for me, but for you, where you think about them every so often and hope they're doing well and just check out their stories again?
There was a friend of mine who got into writing fanfic well, apparently it was because of me. That's what he said anyway. He said it was because of me. A guy called Great O'Dyer at first, but then he moved on to calling himself Sweet Tail.
Ah,
And yeah, he just stopped writing at some point, and I haven't seen him for a while.
is this him right
I'm
here?
just yeah, him with the deer avatar. Yeah,
Yep.
he hasn't been online for a few years now,
Oh, yes, the
and
checklist. Oh,
yep,
that's old school.
yep, and yeah, I actually uh, I wrote a few stories for him. I also one of his main story is called Good Things Come, and I started writing some co-op chapters for that called Good Things Come. If you see where I'm going with that.
I too see where
But
you're
yeah,
going with that.
ever since he stopped, I haven't seen him for a while, and I see him every now and again on social media, but I just haven't spoken to him for a while, and it's just, it's kind of bad not having him around anymore. It's, if you know what I mean. It's just,
No, I get
yeah,
that.
yeah, there's a part of me that wishes he would come back and finish his stories, but obviously he's got his own life to live now, and well,
Yeah, no, I definitely get
I can't really
that.
drag him back.
Yeah, most of the people who leave, unfortunately, it's just because they either outgrew the fandom or they have families now, and it's just hard for them to get on and write. That's why Alex Straza quit. That's why Obsolescence is no longer a moderator. You know. But
Yep.
my next question for you, and
Right.
this is super fun one. Um, what's one fanfic you've read that you think could actually work as an episode of the show?
Uh, there's quite a few actually. No, not
Well,
that one.
let's see if Seven can go one episode without talking about the fic.
Look, Sunny Skies all day long is really fucking
Here
good,
he goes.
dude.
Here he goes.
It's so
There
good.
we go. There we go. I said at least one episode. Okay.
It's such a good fic. What do you want from me?
It is. It is. I'm just. I'm just gonna tally this up. See how many episodes you bring it up.
Uh, yeah, there's oh God, I can't actually. I'm looking for my favorites right now, and I'm trying to find a story that would do.
If it makes it easier, you can say one of your own fics.
There. Someone asked what Sunny Skies is, so now I can post it. Yeah. What do you have any of your own fics that you think could
Because
have
you already
worked?
brought it up.
Uh,
You don't even have it favorited. You hack.
Oh, well, that's because I deleted my favorites bookshelf like a billion times. It's going in all timers though.
I think he's in my.
How many favorites do you have in your bookshelf, Chio? I'm curious.
I think I've got about two. No, that's just unread chapters.
Oh no.
I've got 280 unread chapters.
Oh
I've got
boy.
324 stories I might read later.
Oh man. You're not gonna read all those.
I've got 1,138 stories of my favorites.
Oh man. All right. Curious if anyone in the comments can beat that 1,138 because that's actually quite a lot. So do you remember your first story to get featured? That is my fifth question.
No, there's a.
Oh, you didn't get to give your answer. What is your answer for one story, either of yours or someone else's, that you think could work as an episode?
Oh, somebody once told me that Twilight Sparkle Waits for a Train would make a good episode.
That story is actually very good, and I could definitely see that. She's the kind of person that if the train was just a little bit late, she would have a anxiety attack about it.
Yeah, she'd go into conniptions or something. Yeah.
Yeah. And then yeah, what was the Oh my God, I forgot the next question I asked. This is my ADHD moment.
The first story meant to be featured. Do I remember?
Yeah, your first story that was featured. Do you remember what it was?
I think it might have actually been Twilight Sparkle Waits for a Train. I
You
think.
know, there's a fun way to find that out, actually. So,
Oh yeah.
if you go to let's go here. If you go to bookshelves on Finfic and type, okay, thanks for auto completing. That's not what I said to do. Oh, well, it's supposed to be there. So there's a featured bookshelf on Finfic. So it essentially will always tell you, yeah, okay, I just didn't put featured. It will tell you every story that gets featured. So if a story hits the feature box, it just automatically populated in here. So I could type Geodesic Dragon. Change the view to list view. And it was actually,
Oh, Chancellor Nacy gets what he deserved by the looks of it. Yeah.
nope, bottom of the ladder. Was that before?
Oh right. I think that only got in there because you know how the featured box has those bottom free slots for recently updated stories.
Yes. Now I will say, by the way, back when the feature box was like top right on the banner up here, um, it this bookshelf didn't populate. This bookshelf was made in early 2013. So if you had any stories, or sorry, it was made in like mid 2013. If you had any stories from like before this that got featured, they wouldn't be on this bookshelf.
Yeah, right.
Because was the Geoverse featured like the first few stories? I feel like the first
Uh,
Geoverse story had to be. It got so many likes.
I don't remember it being featured, if I'm honest.
Man, because how many did it get? I mean, 815. I mean, let's if we look at the stats, we could actually find out if it probably did. If you see how its likes went, if this page would load. Thanks, FimFic. Absolutely incredible. Okay. So. Oh, you know what? No, that's why. Yeah, this one was a slow grower, so I guess it did not get featured right away. This one, because you updated it a lot, so it was accumulating likes, is what was happening.
Yeah.
And back then, it was notoriously difficult to get in the feature box. Like you had to game the system really well to get in. It was tough for a long time.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I was
Um,
updating like a chapter a day or something like that.
yeah,
Like 20 of them.
and especially back then, if you recall, there was no like the length of your story wasn't factored into whether or not it would get featured. So there was like shitloads of just low effort 1,000 word comedy fics getting featured every single day, or porn, of course. Um, and then that
That
would
still
just
happens.
take it away from like the 5,000 word stories that had almost as many likes, but just not quite enough.
Also, I just want to throw another PSA out there, guys. If you write a comedy, don't just put one joke in it, please. I'm tired of that. I just want to throw that quick PSA out there because I'm getting really tired of like reading like 1,000 word comedies and there's only like a single punchline.
Yeah. JMC has a question. What are your thoughts on ponies on Earth fics?
I've never actually read any.
Oh man, so wait, you never read like Conversion Burrito or anything?
Nope.
You know what? Fair enough. You know, you definitely did read One Pony on Earthvic, though. You had to have read My Little Dashie.
Oh, Def.
Oh, yeah, I think I did read that actually. Yeah,
Who remembers the movie? I'm raising my hand.
I haven't. I do remember. I've never actually watched it.
I haven't watched
That
it either.
I watched the movie but didn't read the fic.
So, my sixth question, I'm gonna hit you with like some hardcore nostalgia here, Gio. Do you remember the fan-made episode that was being hyped up called Double Rainboom?
I do. Yes, I
Oh my
actually
god.
watched that.
You did watch it.
I did.
Oh my.
Yes.
Did you think it was
This
good?
this is a throwback. Holy shit.
It was for a fan made project. Yeah, it was pretty. It was pretty good. Yeah, it was very well animated.
Yeah. And even if it wasn't my cup of tea, the fact that they put that much effort into it and it looked as good as it did was
Yeah.
awesome. It was really cool to see that. And it was also great to see that Hasbro didn't just shut it down. I was sad when that was originally going to be the case and then they changed their minds and it got to come out. Um,
Do you know what happened to it? Because now when you look it up on YouTube, it's hard to
he
find.
he removed it.
Oh shit.
Yeah, a lot of old pony content creators removed their stuff. Um,
That sucks.
yeah, it does.
Yeah.
All right. So, next question, Gio. What's your favorite video game of all time?
RimWorld.
Should have known that'd be the answer. If you get into RimWorld, you don't just you're still learning even after like thousands of hours. That's the fun of that game.
Yeah, I think I've got about over 2,000 hours in it by now.
Yeah, well,
And
average
plus,
RimWorld enjoyer.
and plus I make mods for it as well. Shameless self promotion there.
Yeah, no, if I see someone with like 1,500 hours in it, it's just like least obsessed RimWorld player. All right, next question. What is it pronounced Brew or Iron Brew? How do you pronounce it?
Iron Brew.
Iron Brew. What does it
Iron Brew.
taste like?
Oh, that's it's it's very hard to answer that because I can't really describe it. It's like a slight hint for me. It's a slight hint. It's like a slightest hint of ginger, and uh, oh, yeah, yeah, you'd have to experience it for yourself. I honestly couldn't answer that because it's everyone that I've talked to about it. They say it tastes. One guy was saying that it tasted like raspberries for some reason. Uh,
I
and
just
another person said it tasted like just plain old cola or whatever. And for me,
it's
it's like
orange,
I
right?
get
Like it's orange in coloration.
yeah, it's orange. Yeah, yeah,
And I know that has nothing to do with the flavor. A lot of people seem to think that if it's a certain color, that means it has to have that flavor. That is just the food coloring they chose for it. Um,
yep.
but every time I see it, for Americans, when you see Iron Brew, it just looks like an orange soda. And
Oh,
so my
it's definitely not.
assumption, yeah, my assumption is that it was a citrusy flavor, and I guess that's just not the case. But
Well,
now I really want to try it.
if I ever come out, if I ever find myself in your neck of the woods, I'll bring you a can.
Please do, please bring like a 6 pack, and we'll enjoy them together.
Right, made in Scotland from Gunther's, as
All
the
right.
old advert goes.
There are a few more chat questions. I'm going to get to them at the end of my questions, though. So my eighth question here is: are you influenced by any sort of Mugany sort of already asked this, but like, do you listen to music while you write? Do you look at art while you're writing, or when you're writing, do you just kind of get in the zone and it's all you're doing at that time?
Sometimes I'll listen to music, and sometimes I'll look at art, and that one sometimes the art will inspire me to write something, such as
Yeah,
with the drawing board story we talked about earlier.
yeah. And then you said the lollipop one as well was inspired by
Yeah,
was it DeviantArt or was it Derpy at that time?
Derpy Buru, yeah.
Derpy, okay. Um, question 9. This will be a fun one. What's your favorite genre tag on the website, and what is your least favorite genre tag? Now, I'm not allowing you to include like human or alternate universe. I need like the actual genres, like comedy, dark, horror, romance.
I like comedy stories. Just sometimes you just need a good laugh,
Hmm.
and I'm not really fond of the like horror stories. They're just not my cup of tea.
I can definitely get that. Like, I think for a lot of people, creepypastas kind of ruined horror with MLP, and now it's just hard to enjoy them. At least that's how it is for me. But it's also just some people don't want to see ponies in a horror situation, which I totally get. It's a nice, colorful, cute world. But I mean, yeah, we were just earlier watching the season 5 premiere. The Obviously it ends up being funny because they all start asking about their cutie marks, but the part where the 3 equalists come out is just like one of the creepiest scenes in the whole show. The way they
Yep.
actually did that, and
Hmm.
yeah, I don't feel that a lot of people who write horror on the website can capture that feeling very well. That's my problem with it. Um, question 10. What is your least favorite trope on film fiction? And so tropes in this case would be stuff like human goes to Equestria and immediately forms a harem. Um, all humans are evil. Uh,
Um. Oh, yeah, probably the all humans are evil one. I mean, I actually am guilty of that in my first draft of my first story.
mhm.
Uh, the ancient humans of Equestria basically went to war with ponies and got their butts kicked.
Good.
And people complained about that a lot, saying, "Oh, you're using the humans are bastards trope again. It's so overdone. It sucks." And so that's when I rewrote it so they were actually friends and they got along. And but yeah, it's just overdone. I think every time you see it, it's just the human comes along. It's just, oh, I'm a big evil guy. I'm gonna kill you all, make you my slaves, make you my harem or whatever. And oh, yawn, boring.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. So if
And
you go to the groups
and
page like this,
most of the time he's a Gary Stew as well.
yeah,
It's-
that's
The,
true. Yeah. So if you go to the groups page, obviously HIE is the top thing, which is funny. Humans falling in love with ponies, right up there as well. However, human on royalty, there it is, that one I just mentioned. There was 2 groups back then that just were always at war with one another, and it was humans aren't bastards and humans are superior. And these two groups would just constantly go to battle with each other in comments about whether or not humans are evil and deserve hatred. Um,
Tale of Two
and
Cities.
it was great to see on every single HIE fic back then. These people would get into like shit, would throw shit fits in the comments, and it was great.
Okay, so the question was least favorite tropes, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna say mine. It's gonna be controversial because it's one of the most common tropes that are actually pretty popular. Random shipping.
Oh, like crack shipping?
Yeah. Okay. So I do not think human on pony shipping is good, but I do not think random shipping is good in general.
You mean crack shipping? What's the word for it?
Crack shipping. Okay, so like more than crack shipping, like just
Like stuff
shipping
like,
two
oh,
characters.
Brayburn is now suddenly with
No,
Sunburst Mom.
no, it's more like shipping two characters together just because they're main characters. That shit just annoys me.
Oh, well, that's just inevitable.
Yeah, that's just inevitable, and that's why it's annoying. It annoys me to see, and I know a lot of people disagree because it's very popular. That's just me though.
That is just you. You're
Yeah,
absolutely right.
that is right. That's why if you read my fiction, I don't ship a lot of characters together because I just ship the ones I want to ship together, the ones I think make sense to be
Wait, so
shipped
what's your
together.
least favorite main six shipping? And this question also goes to you, Gio, but I need to hear this dude's answer real quick.
Okay, so
No, just say
Appladash
the
Twi-
answer.
okay, Twidash.
Fuck you. That's my
Ooh.
favorite story of all time. Fuck you. Fuck you.
Okay.
My favorite story on this whole website is Twidash. Fuck you.
I don't. Hey, I wrote Octa Scratch, and I don't think Octa Scratch works.
You wrote them as a
Twidash.
shitty couple.
Yeah, for a contest,
Oh.
and for a contest, and
All right, all right.
it
I'm not
was
getting
ruined.
sidetracked by this anymore. Gio, what's your favorite and least favorite main six shipping? Because that was actually one of my questions, funnily enough.
Favorite is Twidash.
Thank you. Thank you.
I've actually wrote a couple of Twidash fics.
They're the best. It's such a cute pairing. I really like it.
And my least favorite is anything involving Pinkie Pie.
Oh, what about? Oh man, so you wouldn't like Pinky Dash? I always thought Pinky Dash was kind of cute. Um, yeah, I can definitely get that though. Pinky can be a bit much already by herself, and then having her in a relationship dynamic is really hard to write in general. I don't think I could do that. Is she? I think she's the least written character by me, actually. Who is the main six character you like to write the least, Gio?
The main six character I write the least is Pinkie Pie.
It is Pinky. Yeah, I feel like that's a commonality among this website because she sucks to write. Like, I can't do it. I don't know. Um, so next question, we have two left here. This will be another fun one. So if you had to rewrite the Geoverse, and he's not allowed to be with Twilight, she doesn't exist anymore. She's gone. Who's he ending up with, and why? And what effect would it have on the outcome of the series?
Well, I actually did write an alternate version of it where he ends up with Cheerilee.
I do remember that. You're right. You did do
Yeah.
that. So let's say that
Uh,
that had been the main. What would have happened in the story?
Probably nothing. He'd probably just be still hanging out in Ponyville at the schoolhouse and not going on adventures, and none of the other stories would have happened. And yeah, it would have just ended after that.
It'd basically just be slice of life.
Yeah, pretty much. It would just be sitting there grading papers or whatever.
That's definitely fair. And yeah, empty plot filler brings up a good point. Pinky's hard to put in any situation other than comic relief. She's a good
Yeah,
she's a good foil, but what do you call it? The straight man and the what's the other? You would know this, Mugany. Instant.
Okay, so
There's a straight man in comedy duos, and then what's the other? No, it's not
crap,
the gay man, Alex.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, like Lou Costello was the other guy to Bud Abbott's
Yeah,
straight man.
there's usually the moron that is
I
explaining.
guess that's what we could say. The moron.
Yeah,
Pinky's the
yeah.
moron to everyone else's straight man routine in the show.
Oh, you know
Um,
what you can call it? You just say comedic relief. You just say that.
comedic relief. Yeah, she's good
Yeah,
comedic relief. Literally, which
yeah.
is what Empty Plot Filler said. And then this last question, Gio. This one's gonna be very tough for you to answer. What's your favorite episode of the show, and what's your least favorite episode of the show?
Uh, my favorite episode is probably uh, Sounds of Silence, because that's where we get the Kieran, and Autumn Blaze is just fucking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It really annoys me that
That's
the Kieran didn't get more screen time.
They should have had a Kieran as like a main villain or
oh yeah,
something. That could have been really cool.
And
awesome.
my least favorite episode is I can't remember what it's called, but it's one where we meet Zephyr Breeze for the first time. I fucking hate that guy.
Oh, Flutter Brother.
Yeah, that's the one. I fucking hate that guy so much.
That dude's such
So
a
many,
loser.
so many people hate Fluttershy's brother. Like holy shit,
Dude, it's because it reminds you of that one inept idiot that everyone knows in real life who just won't get a fucking job and just always comes up with excuses.
But fucking hell, it reminded me of a coworker I had. Some of you actually did have a job.
Yeah. No, her brother does suck. I absolutely get that. And there are people who relentlessly ship him with Rainbow Dash, and they need to stop writing. Because that is not something that we should be advocating for. We should be advocating for writing him out of the fucking series. Hate that dude. I don't know if you remember this, but the other day, Gio, we were watching. I might have been conflating him with that weirdo magazine author or whatever that came to visit Rarity and ended up falling for Applejack. What was his name?
Tenderhoof.
Yeah,
Tenderhoof.
Trenderhoof. I think I might have had them confused because I thought Trenderhoof was like super annoying, but he wasn't. He was a fine character. I enjoyed him. So that's the end of my questions for you, my shotgun questions there. So our question to you now is, have you come up with a story for us to read?
No, I have not. Shit.
All right, I'm gonna come up with one. Congratulations.
I
So,
have it pulled up. I'm curious to see what you come up with.
oh, you have one pulled up? Let me see what it is first.
This is an improvised one. That's why I'm interested in seeing what you come up with. It's by Milk.
It's by Mel.
Yeah, inspired by Ann on Pencil. That or we can just read an Ann on Pencil story.
Let's see. Hold on. Before we do that, I want to see if I can find like a cringe funny story to. Oh, you know what we should read actually. Gee, have you ever read Nightmare Star's Revenge?
Yes.
No, I've never heard of it.
Oh, you've never heard of it? All right, we're gonna read Nightmare Star's Revenge. It's only 2 chapters. Very short story. Um, it used to exist on the account of a man named Nightmare Star, and it was moved to our friend Jack's account because for preservation, just in case that other account ever gets deleted. So here it is. It's just one of the early. It wasn't a troll fic either. The guy who wrote this actually ended up coming back later and admitting that what he wrote was garbage, and he just remembered it randomly. And like, what was it? Oh, that's Jack's account. I wouldn't be able to see. It was like 2017 or so. But yeah, he came back and it was just crazy. Where's that comment? It's gonna be on page 1, huh?
I remember. I didn't know about Never Stars.
Yeah, here it is. When he says,
Uh,
"When you remember this piece of shit after years and realize how bad you fucked up, LMAO. This makes me cringe hard AF, and I'm laughing that someone made a fucking reading of it."
So there was actually a period of time where I legit thought this was Jack's first story.
Oh,
And I just messaged him one day saying, "Yo, what the fuck is up with your first fic?" And he just said LMAO.
all right, so everyone can read along. I've gone ahead and put it in the chat there. I'm gonna put it in this Discord chat so that you're able to read along. So I will be the narrator. Geo, you will of course be Nightmare Star. You will be a wonderful Nightmare Star, I think. And
I'm,
this
I'm just wondering how we're gonna do this because I'm looking at right now. This is gonna be really difficult, but we can.
is going to be very difficult. I'll let you guys know when
Gosh.
it's your turn to read because this is the most poorly written piece of shit ever.
I'll be all the side characters.
Okay, you'll be everyone that's not Nightmare Star.
Yeah.
All right. I'll be one of them. Which one of the main six should I be as well? You know what? I'll be Applejack. I'll do my worst Southern accent. All right.
All right.
So is everyone ready to read Nightmare Star's
so.
Revenge?
I'm ready. I was born ready.
All right. So let me move the mic closer here for the reading. Some nice volume here. Okay. Nightmare Star's Revenge. This is a story where once friendly Nightmare Star, it's going to be so hard to read this without laughing, is sent to live on the stars for 1 million years and has come back for some great revenge. This is the cover art. It's just a cropped image. It's 124 by 124. It doesn't get bigger.
So he was sent to it for 1 million years. I'm sorry. I'm hindering the narration. I'm just saying. How far does pony evolution go back? I just wanted to point that out.
Might look a little bit different after 1 million years. I mean, do you see him? Look at his tail. It's quite different. It's very jagged, and he's.
Oh yeah.
He's got red eyes. All right.
You got a point there.
Chapter 1. A surprise visit. Let me put this in my all-timers real quick. Chapter 1. A surprise visit. It was over. Nightmare Moon was gone. They were surprised to see 3 ponies, 2 medium-sized, one the size of Celestia. When the dust cleared, they were even more surprised to see one of them looking strangely kin. One got up to help the others up, saying, "Get up, Main Shep, you to Luna." Then Main Shep says while getting up, That's you, Mugany.
I can't tell where I'm
While
at.
getting up, you'll start with does and then end with nightmare.
Does it look like I loved the ground nightmare?
Then Nightmare noticed the other 7 just staring at them with unexplainable faces. The star ponies are back home also then. Nightmare Star snapping back at her that they had names. So bad. Then readdressing them. Who's talking here? I don't know who's talking here.
Well, it looks like Nightmare Star and Main Ship have come back home to it.
All right. This is no. This is now where it says you here. This is you, Geo. This is finally where Nightmare Star talks.
This is so fucking hard.
Wait. You want a present? Looking like he was about to attack.
Oh, sorry. You want a present? Yeah, looking like he was about to attack. Everyone glaring at him because of his very deep voice. This is you again.
I still remember how Mother and Father told you to end my life, and right there you did, but something happened and nobody liked who they saw.
Nightmare Star.
Yeah, Nightmare Star, me in my nightmare form, everyone's scared to death, you all sent me to the star. Do you know what hell my life has been? They saw the darkness in me, in the future, from their mistake. But now in more than one form, we all could have lived such a great life, but you listened and killed your twin. Now
going.
give some of your great friends some knowledge. After killing me, I was taken and given another chance for my own soul. I was told to never forgive and forget all the things done. Mom and Dad hated me. You were both loved for injustice. I was forgiven. Now you 6 in the past. I worked in a place called the Rainbow Factory.
Oh my
I
god.
forgot he mentioned the Rainbow Factory. Keep going.
All right. Where was I? One of you were born there after discovery. I was sentenced to death by my own parents. Now I know Mainship is about to side with Celestia, and one of you want to side with me. I don't know who though. If you want to help me get my justice, I will help. I will keep the same rules and raise the sun and moon.
All right, so this is how he does the dialogue. So this is how you know Rainbow Dash is talking right here.
Me! Gasp!
Gasp.
Everyone but Nightmare and Rainbow Dash look astonished at Rainbow Dash and the Alicorn Nightmare. Rainbow Dash.
Just don't hurt my friends, please.
Nightmare.
As you wish. Thank you for helpfulness and understanding. Only one hurt will be Celestia. If you want to see how much of a good idea that was, fire a friendship rainbow at me. I won't dodge or anything, and I won't be hurt.
Rainbow Dash.
Are you sure it took out Nightmare Moon?
Nightmare Star.
Yeah, I'm sure. Go ahead. Silence. Oh, hang on, that's you.
Apparently. Silence as they fire at him, not doing anything to him. Nightmare Star.
Didn't hurt.
Celestia.
This is madness, Nightmare. There doesn't need to be any more fighting.
Nightmare Star.
Easy for you to say. Come on, Rainbow Dash, when you're ready.
Whispers while he will
be at
be.
least.
Fluttershy.
Well, Rainbow Dash, if it's okay, but why are you going with that mean pony?
Rainbow Dash.
I don't know, it just feels right.
Twilight Sparkle.
But Rainbow Dash, he wants to hurt us.
Rainbow Dash.
He doesn't want to hurt us. He wants revenge on Celestia. I'm leaving now. I don't want any more of this.
Applejack. Whoa, Nelly. You aren't going nowhere. Rainbow Dash.
They're my wings. You'll go where I want. We're going above the Celestia.
Author's note. Well, after a while, I got some stuff done. This took a while.
But
Were these chapters posted on the same day? No, he actually took a week to write the next one. So he took a week. All right, chapter 2.
After we finish the next chapter, let's read the thing I sent you. Because it coexists with Nightmare Star.
Okay. Chapter 2. The Beast Inside. Nightmare mumbling as Rainbow Dash entered the cold dark room. Rainbow Dash.
Is there any lights?
Nightmare Star.
No, but I can make some fire. Poof. Fire.
He did the poof. All right, perfect. Rainbow Dash, awed in amazement. Rainbow Dash, awed in amazement.
I lost my place.
Rainbow Dash, awed in amazement.
Oh, wow, how you do that?
Nightmare Star.
I'm having a heart of fire.
Oh my god.
Rainbow Dash.
Was that a metaphor?
Nightmare Star.
No.
Rainbow Dash.
I'm kind of getting...
Nightmare Star.
Me too, and sorry I don't have anything for us. I mean you to sleep on. I don't have any bits.
Rainbow Dash.
It's alright, you don't have control of that.
Nightmare Star.
Well, I got an idea. Fuck.
Flies out of the cave and then comes back with a cloud.
There, something softer than the ground.
Rainbow Dash.
I'm sorry, real quick, I just want to check. Is this guy an alicorn?
Yeah, he is.
Okay, it's just hard to tell because...
He is. 100%.
Okay, fucking hell, I lost my place.
Oh my god, you stupid dickhead. Rainbow Dash.
Yeah. That's very specific.
Rainbow Dash.
Thanks, Nightmare.
Smiling back to him. Nightmare Star.
Anything for a friend of mine. Oh wait, sorry, you barely know me.
Rainbow Dash.
Well, I am helping you get revenge. That's a friend in my book.
Nightmare Star giving a little grin. Rainbow Dash.
Well, good night.
Nightmare Star.
Good night, buddy.
Saying under his breath. Next day. Rainbow Dash.
Wake him up!
Pinkie Pie. I'm sorry, Rainbow Dash. Nightmare Star.
Whoa, hey, back off.
Twilight Sparkle.
We don't want to hurt you.
Nightmare Star goes invisible. He's invisible, guys. Twilight Sparkle.
You tell us with the capital T, as he could do that. You
Rainbow
tell us
Dash.
he could do that. All I know is he can make fire out of thin air.
Nightmare Star.
Spies.
Rainbow Dash.
I'm not a spy. Come out. They want to help us.
Rarity.
Can we hurry this up? There is dirt everywhere.
This must be Rarity's first time going outside. Twilight
Probably.
Sparkle. Wait, that wasn't a good posh accent. Redo that line.
Can we hurry this up? There is dirt everywhere.
Alright, I'll take it. Twilight Sparkle.
Our friend made a decision. May have been a dumb decision, but we are friends. That what we do. If you're her friend, then you're our friends too.
Nightmare Star decloaks and says,
Well then, I guess you're my friends then. You are?
Fluttershy.
Blue, Fluttershy.
Nightmare Star giving his hoof out.
Nice to meet you.
The rest of him give them their names, him shaking their hoof, then Twilight suggesting showing Nightmare Ponyville. Nightmare Star.
Wow, things really changed, but after a million years, that's what you got to expect.
Rainbow Dash.
What was life like back then?
Nightmare Star.
Paradise fields of green grass, rivers, trees, all the wonders you could think of just waiting for you till Celestia killed them.
Rainbow Dash.
Who?
Nightmare Star.
My friends are brothers and sisters, merciless killing spree. I can't let that happen again.
All right, and the story's finished. It's no updates yet. Maybe soon.
Sorry, fuck that. I couldn't keep up that voice anymore.
There is that brilliant piece of writing I sent you, though.
All right, let's see what you sent to me. Let's see how this is. Oh, setting the record straight.
I'm so glad I've got this raspberry liqueur.
All right, so I'll read this out loud. Oh, this is from Norris. I love Norris. All right. Setting the record straight. All right, you buffoons. I've read a lot of uneducated, half-witted, snot-nosed little shits who claim to be reviewers completely miss the specific intricacy and depth of Nightmare Star's Revenge, stooping to petty lows to expose the flaws of the grammatical and semiotic nature of the story. These are obviously ludicrous graspings at proverbial straws, done in a desperate attempt to denounce the glory that is Nightmare Star. In truth, Nightmare Star's Revenge is not only the greatest story on the site, but indeed the greatest work of art ever conceived by a human being. The latter, of course, is a blasphemous claim. Much like how Christians claim that the Holy Bible was written by their omnipotent God, it seems fairly safe to believe that Nightmare Star's Revenge, being a holy scripture of equal impact and magnitude, was written by none other than Nightmare Star himself. To call it art is undermining of its full magnitude of importance. I've created a petition. I'm going to click that in a sec. Oh, it's a YouTube video. I feel like this is a troll.
It is.
Napalm death, you suffer. Yeah, that I intend to send to the to the powers that be, asking for Nightmare Star to be regarded as a deity, and therefore Nightmare Star's Revenge to be regarded as holy scripture. If it worked with Scientologists, it can fucking work with us. All right, I'm not gonna read this whole thing, but damn, they went into this.
I asked him about it, and he was just waiting for a bus stop, and that's why he wrote this.
That bus must have been taking a while. This
Yeah.
is like this is what happens when people have to wait for a bus, or Twilight Sparkle has to wait for a train.
Yeah, it's like it's exactly what I said to him. This reads like you had some time to kill.
All right, we're gonna read one more story because that was a pretty short one, and we still have a little bit of time left here. Let me find a really short, really bad one. So we're gonna sort by dislikes. One of my favorite things to do.
I was hoping we'd do a pencil one.
Let's do that on mine.
Okay.
I love pencil. Damn, that has that many. Wow. Oh, there's Diaries of a Madman. Yeah, we're not reading Shining's Flurry. Do you remember this story, Gio?
I don't think so. It doesn't seem familiar.
This was, oh my god, this thing was a big story. It hasn't been on in a minute. I'm gonna read that again later, actually. All right, the chase. So many of these freaking stories are by Headless Rainbow. They're truly a connoisseur of getting down votes. Oh, there they are again. You know what? Better idea. Let me go to library. Is there anything in Alzheimer's here that's actually good that isn't Nightmare Star's Revenge? Let's see. Any short stories? I typically read longer things, which I need to stop fucking doing.
We can do Crazy Steve in Equestria. The greatest story of all time.
No, we're gonna read Best Hell Ever. This is the kind of story that Geo would absolutely adore.
Oh, that's a classic.
Have you read this
It's
one,
not-
Geo?
No, I think it might be on my read later though.
All right, well here we go. We're gonna do a reading of it. So perfect timing. This is one of my favorite
I-
Twilight stories on the whole site.
I believe this one was #1 for a while.
It was, yeah. This was a very, very
also-
good story.
It also inspired a few imitations out there.
All right, so Geo, would you like to be do the honors and be Twilight?
Yeah, sure.
All right, and then Mugany, you'll be the demon,
Okay.
and I'll be I'll be Satan. All right. Actually, no, Geo, you be Satan as well. Mr. Sataner is his name or something, or Sataner. I don't know how to pronounce it. But so this is Best Hell Ever by Rambling Writer. Absolutely incredible story. Suddenly finding herself in hell, Twilight is presented with one fact. For the rest of eternity, she's stuck in a library holding every book possible. She's expected to organize them and is allowed to read them. What makes this hell again? All right. Oh. Zoom down. I hate that feature sometimes. All right. So this is the only chapter. The celestial bureaucracy needs better clerks. The ground was cold and hard beneath Twilight's hooves, like polished stone. She couldn't remember how she'd gotten here. Her last memories were of being at dinner with Spike and Starlight, talking about a recent changeling rally in Canterlot. 1 second she'd been there, and the next she was here, with no magic or anything. So where was here?
Welcome to hell.
That wasn't a good sign. Twilight looked up. She was in some kind of reading room, with small tables meant for holding books and papers. The walls were lined with shelves and shelves and shelves of books and books and books. She was in a library, yea, hopefully, of some kind, only bigger than any library she had ever seen before. The aisles leading out from the room stretched out in all directions before disappearing into the distance, and even the ceiling above her seemed miles away. Standing in front of her was a demon, of vaguely equine shape, and yet at the same time not at all, composed more of stony shadow than flesh and blood. Its voice was deep, with the rumble of 2 ships slamming into each other.
This is hell, is it?
Twilight said cautiously. Her personal hell was a library? What was the catch? The demon ran a tongue over needle-like teeth.
Indeed. You will experience personalized torments for the rest of eternity here.
Which clashed immensely with what Twilight was seeing.
So where are we?
This is the Library of Babel.
Said the demon, still in that voice that might have been horrifying if it hadn't been telling Twilight the most amazing things.
I need to scare your voice so well. It contains every book that has ever been written, every book that will ever be written, every book that has never been written, and every book that will never be written.
Very
Okay.
breathy. Very breathy.
Yeah. The other voice was better, by the way. I think it picked up a bit better on the mic. Do your line again, Gio.
Okay.
Twilight was still waiting for that one little qualifier that would make it terrible. This was hell. Why was she in hell anyway? There had to be something bad involved.
As you can imagine,
The demon said.
the sheer amount of knowledge contained within these walls is not organized or conducive to searching.
It smiled.
And that's where you come in.
Twilight got it and perked up.
Wait, you're saying I get to organize these books? Every book possible? For all eternity?
That was the catch? That didn't seem particularly hellish. Worst catch ever. Or would that be the best catch ever? The demon cackled a cackle of granite slabs scraping against each other.
Oh yes, every book. Enjoy your stay. You'll be here a while.
It vanished in a puff of smoke and a stench of rotten eggs. Twilight looked up at the shelves reaching to the ceiling high above. A library of every book ever and every book never. And she got to organize them. In fact, there hadn't even been any restrictions on reading the books. What kind of hell was this? This would be easy. And if she had a quill and paper to work out a system, it'd also be quick. In the grand scheme of infinity, anyway. She quickly started surveying the tables and... aha! Right there was a quill and an inkwell and a stack paper for infernal beings to take notes. Perfect. Twilight quickly tested the quill. It'd be just like hell for her to have a quill but no ink. She turned out to be right and wrong. The inkwell had no ink, but it did have blood. Twilight wrinkled her nose. The smell was going to be terrible soon. But that was the worst thing she'd experienced so far, and it wasn't that bad. Twilight quickly began working out a system in the best hell she'd ever been in. Alright, so the top one is the demon, and then Geo, you'll be the next response. That's Satan here.
Mr. Satan here, sir.
Yes, Wormwinnie?
We've got a problem. You know, I sent a soul to organize one of the libraries of Babel a while back.
Sure, standard punishment for...
She did it.
Come again?
She did it. She organized the library.
The whole...
Yes, the whole thing. You'd think I'd be here if she hadn't organized the whole thing?
That's not possible. The library is infinite.
Look, don't ask me how she did it. But she did it. I walked through just to be sure. It is all perfectly organized. I asked her how she did it, and she said she had a system. Then she asked if I wanted to see it. And before I could say no thank you, she was shoving the scroll into my hands. I took a look at it and, well, see for yourself.
Huh. Uh-huh. But how... Oh, that's how. Huh. Uh-huh. Wow, this is really clever. She's even got the permutations of books properly separated.
And yes, I tried disrupting her system, throwing it back into chaos, but it's like, she's psychic! The moment I leave, she runs past me, apologizing because there's a disturbance in the folio or something. I go back and the books are organized again. I once tried to disorganize them while she was watching, and she hissed at me.
You were scared of a pony hissing at you?
You didn't see her! It'd make Beelzebub run for the hills!
Uh-huh. Right.
Look, one way or another, what we're gonna do now, she's organized the library. She's just sitting around reading books, and not just as a way to pass the time. Sir, I think she's having fun.
I'll send someone over to help you look into it. Make it quick. We don't want to sully Hell's reputation into one of rainbows and butterflies and flowers. Except when the person involved hates rainbows and butterflies and flowers, but you know how rare those are.
Alright. Twilight trotted over to a table and laid the book she had found on it. According to her system, this is the ultimate Dross novel, and she wanted to test that. She opened the book to the first page and read it. In it, she opened the book to the first page and read it. I'm going to keep doing this. In it, she opened the book to the first page and read it. In it, she opened the book to the first page and read it. In it, she opened the book to the first page and read it. In it, she opened the book to the first page and read it. In it, she opened the book to the first page and read it. In it, she opened the book to the first page and read it. In it, she opened the book to the first page and read it. In it, she opened the book to the first page and read it. In it, she opened the book to the first page and read it. In it, she opened the book to the first page and read it. In it, she opened the book to the first page and read it. In it, she opened the... Outside it, she smelled fire and brimstone. Sigh. Demons again. But then, This was supposed to be hell. Maybe they were finally going to step up their game and turn this into something genuinely hellish. One of the demons looked a touch annoyed, but mostly in control of himself. The other looked nervous, constantly shifting his weight and glancing around at nothing in particular. The in-control demon cleared his throat.
I'm Screwed Trots. This is Wormwinnie.
Hello.
Twilight waved cautiously. What was this about?
I'm Twilight. Twilight Sparkle.
How are you enjoying your stay in hell?
That was a question Twilight never thought she'd hear. She bounced around a few possible answers before settling on the truth, to make things simple.
It's not remotely like hell.
She admitted.
I'm loving it.
Her joy bubbled over and she grinned.
I get to read every book possible.
Screwtrot nodded slowly.
Is it Winnie or Whiny?
Wormwinnie,
Wormwinnie?
he said in a low, angry voice.
You messed up again.
And I'll
I
be,
received a-
Oh, you want to be... I'll be Wormwinnie. I received a soul and a hell to put them in, protested Wormwinnie. I just did what I was told. It's not my fault.
Maybe not, but you should check that your soul and your hell are properly suited for each other.
Screwtrot tapped the floor once, twice.
What was the identifier of this specific hell?
Wormwinnie said something that was less a sound and more a torrent of pure sensation, ranging from gentle touches to burning cold to the loudest whispers Twilight had ever heard to that weak lemonade taste after the ice in it has melted. Do you know who has the Compendium of Infernos?
There's a copy in here.
Twilight pointed.
Go 4 miles and 3,758 feet that way. Take a left. Go 19 flights down the first set of stairs you find. Go a parsec to the right. That's a parsec exactly. And it'll be on the first edge of the 60-second shelf up.
Screwtrot and Wormwinnie stared.
I organized this according to a system. I know my system.
Protested Twilight.
It's not that hard. See, you were looking for factual information, so...
I'll be right back.
Screwtrot said quickly. He ran down the direction Twilight had pointed. He ran back a few seconds later, reading the book Twilight had mentioned and looking very, very angry. He showed his current page to Wormwinnie.
Wormwinnie, can you tell me what sort of pony is supposed to be here?
Wormwinnie read a few lines and cringed. A green earth pony?
Can you tell me what sort of pony Twilight Sparkle is?
A purple alicorn?
Can you tell me whether or not Twilight Sparkle is supposed to be here?
No, she isn't.
Like I said, you messed up again. I'll deal with you later. Scram.
Wormwinnie vanished. Screwtrot rubbed his head.
That demon.
He muttered.
It's a wonder I haven't eaten him already.
Twilight cleared her throat.
So what about...
You were sent to the wrong personal hell.
Said Screwtrot, almost apologetically.
This was meant to be for a sloth committing the sin of sloth, not someone who likes everything neat and orderly.
Oh.
Said Twilight. That explained a lot.
In fact,
Screwtrot fanned through the book.
I don't think you're supposed to be in hell at all. I can't find an entry for you. I don't think you're even supposed to be dead.
Damn, you're like giving up on reading your lines. You better get better at reading these, Mugany.
What are you talking about? It's called acting. I'm just reading as somebody who's dead inside.
Hey, you see those little dots at the end of sentences? Those are periods. You pause for a second when you see those.
Listen, I just pictured that this character just feels dead inside at the moment, so that's how I'm reading it.
So does this mean I'm going back home?
But she didn't want to leave the library just yet. There was so much to...
Absolutely. We don't know why you were sent to hell before you died, but rest assured, we ensure it will never happen again. Hell apologizes for the inconvenience, and have a pleasant day, ma'am.
It's like your customer service voice. Before she could protest, Twilight vanished from the library and reappeared at the dining room table where Starlight and Spike were discussing a changeling rally in Canterlot, exactly what they'd been discussing when she'd died. From the sounds of things, she could get right back to life, as if none of it had ever happened. But Twilight thought about the infinite library in hell, and Twilight thought about her own minuscule library here. Tears began welling in her eyes. Twi? Asked Spike. You look real weird all of a sudden.
I was in hell and had access to every book possible.
Twilight wailed and planted her head and her face in her salad. Down in hell, although that particular clerical error had been sorted out, that still left the matter of how Twilight had died in the first place and got placed in this particular hell. And there was one option that Screwtrot was particularly keen on. He reached through time and space and possibility and yanked Discord into the library by his antler. Discord, as usual, wasn't too put out. Can I be Discord, Magani?
I feel like I can pull off a good Discord impression, but I wanted to see yours. Go ahead.
Hello, Mr. Trot. Now do yours.
Hello, Mr. Trust. Mine's way too enthusiastic.
I mean, he's
Mine's-
enthusiastic when he
mi-
talks.
I mean, mine's a little flamboyant.
Oh, it's flamboyant. You know what? Let's do flamboyant Discord.
Okay. Hello, Mr. Trotz.
He beamed. All right, too flamboyant. Put it down to a 9. He beamed.
Hello, Mr. Trotz.
He beamed.
Long time no see. Still heading down the lowarchy. The lower archy. You should come visit Equestria. The weather is scheduled to be quite lovely this time of year. A pony ended up in the wrong hell.
Rumbled Screwtrot.
In fact, they weren't supposed to go to hell at all. Are you responsible? I did her a favor. Really. She got to spend so much time organizing books with no disruptions. Just because I find order dull doesn't mean Draconequist!
Yelled Screwtrot. He squirted Discord with an acid spray bottle.
Bad! You're not supposed to interfere with the afterlife! I resent that. That was really flamboyant.
Protested Discord. No. It's too late. He's slowly progressing in flamboyance. Protested Discord, flailing his arms to protect himself from the acid. After all, it would get him wet.
I'm sorry, that line was just good. Okay. The author had plot bunny that they needed to get rid of. I did them a favor too. And you know how hard it is for me to do favors?
He scraped a drop of acid from his fur, licked it, and cringed.
Oh, please. Sulfuric, still? You really need to switch to fluoroantimonic. Too much work. So you say.
Discord wriggled out of Screwtrot's grasp.
Anyway, I shouldn't keep you any longer, not with all the work you have waiting on you. Toodles!
And he was gone. Screwtrot sighed, but there wasn't anything he could do about it. He did need to get back to work. Another day, another damnation. All right. That was our reading of Best Hell Ever by Rambling Writer. Geo, your first time seeing that story. What do you think of it?
That was pretty good.
It's a very Twilight story.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All right, let's hear it for our voice actors, our main two, Geo and Mogany. Very, very good job, guys. Let's see. Well, with those two stories written, I suppose our last question at this point, Geo, is there anything else you'd like to say to your fans, any of the people watching out there?
Yeah, just thanks for your support over the years. It really means a lot to me, and I hope to start writing something again soon. But until then, just stay awesome.
Awesome. All right, Mugany, it's outro time.
Okay. Before I drop like a little bit of the outro news, do you what is the best way to contact you, Geo?
Probably through either Discord or fanfiction.
Okay, you heard him, folks. Okay. As for the news, um, not really much to announce at the moment. We started a subscribe star. Do we want to know it? Go ahead and announce what the tiers might be. Seven? Do you think?
Oh, sure. Yeah, I'd written these down.
Yes. The subscribe star is not ready. We're waiting for the account to be authenticated. But these should be the tiers once it goes up.
Yeah, let me grab them. Sorry. Okay. The ideas I had were $1. You get a thank you for support and a shout out whenever we do our Unlucky 13. If you do $5, get all the those two rewards, and you get access to a subscriber only chat in the Discord. $10, you get access to another chat where you can just ask questions to anyone at any time. And $25, you get those rewards above, and you'll also get a story written for you by either me or Mugany. It can be anything you want. So I mean, that can just be like, if you want a really long, like 5,000 or 6,000 word story, you can just donate $25, and we would really appreciate that, and you can get a story out of it. So that would be an option. I might also try to include like a tier that gets you like an art piece, because I'm friends with a few artists who would love to do that, I'm sure. But yeah, that's the ideas I have for now, but we're still formulating everything. So
Yeah, it's things we're going to talk about. There is like something podcast related I do need to talk to you about afterward. But as for other stuff, if you are not in the Discord, I am posting the link to Twitch chat right now. Go and join the Discord. That is where you can keep up to date with every single episode. If you do not follow the YouTube channel, please subscribe and like I sent this studio thing. If you're not following the YouTube channel, then please do so and upvote all of the videos that really help us with the algorithm. YouTube expects a certain amount of analytics before we can get monetized. I'll just read off some of those analytics right now. We need 500 subscribers.
that's it.
Yeah, yeah. That's why I'm saying yeah. I'm probably gonna be advertising this every single episode until we can get monetized, if we can. We need at least 3 videos, and then we need one of the following. We need either 3,000 public watch hours, or 3 billion short views.
3 billion short views.
Million.
Oh, million. Okay, 3. That's still insane. All right.
Yeah.
Also, everyone, if you're already not, make sure you click that link. Go and follow Geo on FimFic. Read his stuff. It's really awesome. Like I said, he inspired a lot of my works back in the day. Still does in a way. Always a really big pleasure chatting with you, Geo, and it was super cool to have you.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
Okay, and do we want to go ahead and announce who the next guest is for next week?
It's me. He's gonna interview me.
Yes. We're interviewing Rose Lucky 7.
And we're gonna see if I can get at least one person on here to help interview me along with Mugany, so he can have a co-host. So we'll figure that out.
Yes. So if you want to see the interview with Rose Lucky 7, if you want to know when that's scheduled, join the Discord to stay up to date. And
Hey man, hey.
What?
You need to stop dead naming me. I'm just Lucky 7 now. You see? That's my name now.
I'll just call you Sev.
Okay, sure. That's what Geo calls me. Geo's the first person that called me that way back in the day, and it kind of stuck.
Okay, I don't think there's any more news, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do the outro. Okay, I have been Buckany.
I've been Lucky 7, and we had...
You.
Thank you for watching. Goodbye.
Bye.